Hey everyone, get ready to dive into ancient Chinese military strategy with us.
Oh, yeah.
We're cracking open The Art of War by Master Taigong.
Uh-huh.
Specifically, Chapter 1, Strategic Wisdom Master of Literature.
Yeah, right.
You might think literature is a little dry for a military treatise, but trust me, it gets interesting.
It really does.
So we start with King Wen.
Okay.
He's got this prophecy about finding a heavenly gift by the Wei River. And what's he find?
Whoa.
He finds Jiang Taigong.
Uh-huh. Just fishing.
Just casually fishing.
Yeah. It's not exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, you don't often think of fishing as a metaphor for leadership.
Right. But Taigong actually makes a really compelling case.
Oh, he does.
When King Wen asks if he enjoys fishing, Taigong doesn't just say yes or no.
Nope.
He compares fishing to the aspirations of nobles, and he hints that there's a deeper meaning to what he's doing.
I see.
Then he dives into what he calls the 3 powers of fishing.
Oh, the 3 powers. Yeah. So first he mentions the power to secure sustenance.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then there's power over life and death.
Whoa, okay.
Is he talking about choosing who to promote or demote?
Like making tough decisions.
Yeah. Choosing who to reward and even who to punish.
That's pretty intense.
It is. Especially compared to just fishing. You know?
It is.
And then the 3rd power is power in officialdom.
So how does that tie into fishing?
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Taigong connects these basic parts of fishing to leadership and governing.
He's saying that you need to understand these powers to be a good leader.
Exactly. And then it gets even more interesting because he compares attracting fish with bait to attracting and managing people.
Really?
He even says, just as fish are hooked by bait,
Uh-huh.
people are bound by their salaries.
Wow.
What do you think about that analogy?
Well, it seems like he's getting at the core of what motivates people.
Right.
What makes us want to achieve something.
It's not just about money.
Yeah, like what makes us want to be part of something bigger than ourselves.
Exactly. And he seems to be saying that understanding that is key to being a good leader.
Makes sense.
It's like he's saying if you want to build a successful kingdom, you need to understand what your people want and need.
Right.
You can't just throw money at them.
Nope.
You need to actually know them.
Yeah, I see that.
That's incredibly insightful.
It is.
Especially for a text that's thousands of years old.
Definitely.
But it doesn't stop there.
Ooh.
Taigong also discusses 4 key qualities a leader must have to gain the support of their people.
Okay, let's hear it.
They are benevolence, virtue,
Got it.
righteousness,
Got it.
and the way...
So we've seen how Taigong views leadership as this art of attraction.
Yeah.
But what do these qualities mean for a leader?
Well, let's break them down.
Okay.
He starts with benevolence.
Right.
But he's not just talking about being nice, is he?
No, definitely not.
What does he mean?
It's more about actively sharing the benefits of the world with the people.
Okay.
Ensuring their well-being and prosperity.
So taking care of them.
Yeah, and then he talks about virtue, which is about alleviating suffering and helping those in need.
So it's about action.
Exactly. It's about a leader's commitment to the welfare of their people.
I like it.
And then we have righteousness.
Okay, what about that one?
Righteousness is about making sure that everyone has a sense of belonging and a shared purpose.
So like shared values.
Yeah, and it's about creating a society where things are fair.
A just society.
Yeah. And finally, we have the way.
Which is often translated as the Tao.
Uh-huh.
That one's always tricky for me.
Yeah, it can be a tough one.
It's more than just a path, right?
Yeah, more like the underlying flow of the universe.
Oh.
The natural order of things.
So aligning with the Tao means creating a system in harmony with that order.
Exactly. One that promotes balance and stability.
And benefits everyone. It's like he's saying true leadership isn't about forcing your will on others, but about understanding and working with the natural flow of things.
Yeah, that's a pretty deep concept.
It is. And it sets the stage for all of Taigong's later discussions about military strategy.
So this idea of power coming from aligning with a deeper principle. Yeah, that resonates throughout his work.
But before we move on to the military stuff,
okay,
what do you think about Taigong's focus on those 4 qualities?
Well, what strikes me is that he doesn't present them as separate traits.
Right. They all work together.
Yeah. Like they create this cycle of good leadership.
It's not enough to just be benevolent, for example.
No, you need to be virtuous and righteous, too.
And aligned with the Tao.
Exactly. These qualities reinforce each other.
And create a strong foundation for leadership.
Uh-huh.
And he's not just talking about being a good person either.
Right.
He's saying you have to create systems and structures that reflect these values.
I see.
It's about building a just society.
Yeah, not just being a good person in charge.
Right. And this is where things get even more interesting.
Oh, really?
Because up to now it's been King Wen asking the questions.
Uh-huh.
But his son, King Wu, he steps in. And the conversation shifts to military strategy.
So we're finally getting to the military part?
We are. And this is where we see Taigong's ideas about leadership in action.
Interesting.
So King Wu has this scenario for him.
Right.
Two armies are stuck in a stalemate. And neither side wants to make a move.
So what does Taigong say?
Well, he doesn't jump straight into battle tactics.
Oh.
Instead, he talks about the importance of what he calls the one.
The one. What's that?
Yeah, he even says, the one ascends to the Tao and approximates the divine.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
It is. What's he talking about?
Well, essentially, it represents a unified principle, a singularity of purpose and will that aligns with the Tao.
So it's about being focused.
Yes. Yeah. Having total resolve and acting decisively.
So it's not just about having a good strategy.
No.
It's about having this inner strength.
Right.
That fuels your actions.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But how does that apply to a military stalemate?
Well, Taigong says that this principle shows itself in timeliness.
Okay.
Momentum.
Got it.
And the ruler's unwavering resolve.
So it's about taking the right moment. And leading with strength.
Right.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this all connects.
Yeah.
If you're divided or if your will is weak, your strategies will fail.
No matter how clever they are.
Exactly. You need that core strength, that alignment with the Tao.
Yes.
To be effective in any situation.
Especially military standoff.
And this connects back to those 4 qualities of leadership.
Benevolence, virtue, righteousness.
Right. Those aren't just abstract ideas.
Right.
They build the inner strength you need to have external power.
I like that.
So cultivating those qualities is a way to cultivate the one.
Yeah. To tap into that deeper source of power.
That's fascinating.
It is.
But I want to know more about what Taigong actually told King Wu about the stalemate.
Oh, yeah, the practical side of things.
Right. What was his advice?
Well, his advice is all about deception and psychology.
Really?
He says to create an illusion of chaos while keeping order internally and to appear weak while remaining strong.
He even says, appear hungry, but be well fed. And be sharp on the inside, but dull on the outside.
Yeah. It's about playing with perception.
So your enemy never knows what you're really thinking.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
He says that if you seem weak and disorganized, your opponent will think they have the upper hand.
It's a trap.
Yes!
You make them think they're winning.
Right.
And then, bam.
You strike when they least expect it.
And that brings us to the element of surprise.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Taigong says to watch your enemy closely.
Okay.
Find their weaknesses. And then attack quickly and unexpectedly.
So the best defense is a well-timed attack.
That exploits the enemy's weaknesses.
Exactly.
And it all starts with that inner strength, that alignment with the one.
It all comes back to that.
It does. It's about staying calm and collected while appearing weak.
Which is really difficult to do.
It is. But how do you actually do that?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. How do you seem vulnerable while being strong?
It takes a lot of understanding of human psychology and knowing when to show your strengths.
And when to hide them.
Right. And it takes a lot of practice.
It sounds like it.
And we've only just scratched the surface of this chapter.
There's so much more to unpack here.
There is.
But we'll have to continue our deep dive next time.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So we've been exploring Jiang Taigong's ideas about leadership and strategy. And I'm really struck by how relevant they still are today.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though it's from ancient China.
Thousands of years ago.
It makes me think about modern businesses, political campaigns, even personal relationships.
It's amazing how these principles just transcend time and cultures.
They really do.
You know?
Like that concept of the one. It's not just about winning battles, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about cultivating that inner strength, that resolve and purpose.
That helps you face any challenge.
Exactly. And it makes me think about a CEO trying to lead a company through tough times.
Right.
They need that inner compass to make hard decisions, inspire their team, stay focused on the big picture.
Absolutely.
Or a political candidate trying to connect with voters.
Yeah, good point.
They have to be authentic, have a clear purpose.
To cut through all the noise.
Exactly. And build trust with people.
It's not easy.
It isn't.
Like, that's what it takes.
And it's not just about those traditional leaders either.
Right.
Like, think about someone starting a new business or going back to school. They need that inner strength too.
That belief in themselves.
To push through the challenges.
And stay committed to their goals.
It's like Taigong is saying that inner strength
Yeah.
is the foundation for any kind of success.
I think he's right.
It makes you think of that saying.
Oh, yeah.
The only person you are destined to become is the person you decided to be.
You have to choose it.
You do. But Taigong doesn't just talk about inner strength on its own.
Right.
He connects it to those 4 qualities of leadership.
Benevolence, virtue, and the way.
Right. Like, this is the building blocks of the one.
Yeah, you can't just have ambition.
Nope.
You need those deeper qualities, too.
To align yourself with that higher purpose.
Dada-ho.
Yeah. And that alignment gives you the confidence to act and inspire others.
It's not just about being a good person.
No, it's about embodying those values.
In a way that resonates with others.
Exactly. And remember how Taigong talks about observing the enemy?
Oh, yeah, and exploiting their vulnerabilities.
That applies to way more than just the battlefield.
It does.
It's about being strategic, understanding the situation, and knowing the opportunities and threats. It reminds me of Sun Tzu.
Oh, yeah.
He said, know your enemy and know yourself. And you will not be imperiled in 100 battles.
You have to know your strengths and weaknesses.
And your opponents.
Yeah, to be successful.
And it's not just about finding weaknesses to exploit.
Right.
It's also about understanding people's motivations.
The desires.
Yeah. Whether they're competitors,
colleagues,
or even customers.
Like how companies do market research or political campaigns try to understand voters.
Exactly. It's all about gathering information.
And using it strategically.
And remember that comparison Taigong made?
About attracting fish with bait?
Yeah. It's all about knowing what motivates people.
What they value.
And what they want.
It's like crafting the perfect message to appeal to the people you want to attract.
Whether it's customers or even allies in a negotiation.
It's about understanding what they'll respond to.
What they'll bite on.
Exactly. And it's not just about offering money or reward.
Right.
It's about understanding those deeper motivations.
Your aspirations and fear.
Yeah, the things that really drive us.
It makes me think of Simon Sinek.
Oh, yeah.
He said, people don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it.
It's about connecting on an emotional level.
Appealing to their values.
And showing them how you can help them.
And that's where that sense of purpose comes in.
That alignment with the one.
Yeah. When you know why you do what you do, it shows.
It attracts others who share that vision.
It's like that authenticity becomes your bait.
You have to be genuine.
And passionate about your purpose.
And that brings us back to creating a system that reflects those values.
Benevolence.
Graciousness.
And the way, it's not just about individual actions.
Right.
It's about creating a culture where those values thrive.
Like a company known for treating its employees well.
Yeah.
Or giving back to the community.
That reputation becomes a powerful asset.
It attracts talent and customers.
To share those values.
Yeah, it creates a win-win situation.
It does. And that's what makes Taigong's teachings so timeless.
They're not just about winning.
No.
They're about creating a better world.
A more harmonious society.
Where everyone can thrive.
It's a good reminder that leadership isn't just about power.
It's about service.
Using your influence to make a positive impact.
And it starts with cultivating that inner strength.
That alignment with the one.
To lead with wisdom and compassion.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
But let's not forget, Taigong wasn't just a philosopher.
No.
He was a brilliant strategist.
Who helped King Wu win many battles.
I want to hear more about his tactical advice.
Yeah.
His insights on deception and surprise.
And how those ideas apply today.
Me too. Let's dive back into that in the next part of our deep dive. All right, so we're back for our final deep dive into The Art of War by Master Taigong.
Yeah, and I'm really amazed by how much wisdom is packed into this ancient text.
Seriously, it's like it was written for today.
So much of it still applies.
And one of the things that keeps coming up for me is this idea of deception. Remember all those phrases Taigong uses?
Like,
appear hungry but be well fed?
Oh, yeah.
Or be sharp on the inside but dull on the outside?
It's all about using psychology to your advantage.
It's like creating this facade that hides what you're really thinking.
Exactly.
But it's not about being dishonest, is it?
No, no.
It's about being strategic.
Right.
Knowing when to show your hand and when to hold back.
It's like playing a game.
Yeah.
But being smart about it.
Like in a negotiation. Whether it's for business or even just a personal conflict.
Right.
Sometimes if you reveal too much too early,
you
lose your advantage.
You have to control yourself and project the right image.
Like keeping a poker face.
Exactly.
It makes me think of that saying.
Which one?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Oh, yeah.
You have to understand your opponent.
What they want.
Right. And how they think.
And that brings us back to observation.
Uh-huh.
Taigong talks a lot about studying your opponent.
Finding their weaknesses.
Waiting for the right moment.
It's like a chess game.
Oh, yeah. Good comparison.
They're always analyzing.
Looking for an opening.
And it's not just on the battlefield.
Right.
This applies to business.
Politics.
Even relationships.
It's about being aware.
Gathering information.
And using your smarts to come out ahead.
And Taigong doesn't just talk about defense and deception.
No.
He also talks about taking action.
When the time is right.
Yeah, he says to seize the moment.
He even uses the phrase thunderbolt speed.
Whoa, that's pretty intense.
To describe the perfect attack.
So it's about being bold.
Taking risks.
Acting with confidence.
I love that phrase, thunderbolt speed.
Me too. It really captures that urgency.
And it's not just about being fast.
No.
It's about precision.
Targeting the right spot.
Like a surgeon.
Yeah.
Making a very precise cut.
It reminds me of those startup companies that disrupt whole industries.
By focusing on one specific problem.
Exactly. They find a weak spot.
And then they go for it.
Such a smart strategy.
And Taigong understood that way back then.
Thousands of years ago.
It's amazing.
And here's the thing that ties it all together.
What's that?
All those tactics. They only work if you have that foundation of the one.
That alignment with the Tao.
Right. It's not enough to just be clever.
You need that inner strength, too.
To guide you.
And to make sure you succeed.
It's like he's saying, true mastery comes from matching your actions.
With your principles.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
I think we can all learn from that.
No matter what we're facing in life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the art of war, what stood out to you the most?
You know what really struck me is how Taigong connects all these different ideas.
Like what?
Philosophy,
right?
Leadership, military strategy.
Into one big picture.
Yeah. He's not just talking about winning battles. He's talking about winning at life.
Using wisdom and strategy to overcome any challenge.
It's a guide to living a better life.
And he reminds us that real power doesn't come from force or being tricky.
No.
It comes from having a purpose.
Aligning ourselves with something bigger.
And becoming strong leaders.
That's a message that really resonates with me.
Me too. And it makes you wonder,
what
would Taigong say to us today?
Oh, yeah.
How would he advise us to achieve our goals?
What strategies would he recommend?
Yeah, in this crazy modern world.
I think he'd say to build up that inner strength. Pay attention to the world around you.
And act with wisdom and decisiveness.
To appear hungry, but be well-fed.
To be sharp on the inside, but dull on the outside.
And to strike with thunderbolt speed?
I love it. I think we've all learned a lot from Master Taigong.
Me too. It's been a fascinating journey.
Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive.
Until next time.
We hope you enjoyed exploring these ancient insights with us.
Yeah.
Keep diving.
Keep learning.
And keep applying these timeless principles to your life.
We'll catch you on our next deep dive.